This is Dr. Lesson, Scout Log 2, location, Orbis. The changes I may have applied to myself, they have expanded once more. Not that I wish to look any different than my current self, but these new possibilities are interesting. For example, a city bunch. It was outrageously hilarious. Won't be doing it again, though. Who knows if there may be a point where I forget what I originally looked like. Anyways, there are new capabilities that resemble something out of a storybook. That being said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic when viewed from the eyes of a primitive civilization. In this case, I would be the primitive one. I mean now, on a whim, cause the armor I am wearing to be completely translucent. Furthermore, when I run, to be dramatic I suppose, my cape has more swish and flit to it. Magic or science, most likely both one and the same. I will look further into this. These sciences are beyond my current calculations, and the fundamental laws of this realm differ quite greatly from my own. I shot down a large Praetorian skeleton earlier, and upon his remains I found a book. When I opened to peer inside, energy expanded outwards towards nearby bone dials, and from them rose sentient skeletons. While first alarming, I soon realized that these skeletons were not hostile to me, but rather were willing to receive commands. I shall deem the science as necroturgy, necro meaning death, and turgy from turge, meaning to rise. Moving forwards, I shall yet again briefly list the changes I have observed. Adamantite has become more physical than before. While within its raw form, its density is increased and may now only be mined by pickaxes, which are made of thorium or cobalt. The same applies in many ways with varying materials that are now used for mining ores or of higher density. For example, the pickaxe made of copper now takes longer to mine a harder substance such as iron or cobalt. The inverse also applies. Cobalt cuts through iron like butter. Whereas, formidable creatures, even more so than before, I dare say they now have evolved to become some of the strongest creatures one can encounter. They are tough, strike hard, and are quick. Avoid when possible. I have discovered new recipes for lighting options. I do love a bit of variance in my displays. The following creatures have evolved tougher hides, now defined as going from a light hide to a medium hide. Bison, boar, cow, horse, and warhog. Next note. The Magmatoad. That crude, infernal abomination of a creature. While its tongue no longer strikes as hard, it has evolved a hardened skull in order to lunge and headbutt those who would trespass on its territory. Moving on, I have found ways to artificially produce petals. This opens up near limitless opportunities to add a bit of color to my hobbies. As such, I can now also produce light variants of cloth by using combinations of petals to dye them. I had a dream the other night where I found myself in a flat zone with grass as far as the eye could see. The sky was clear, and any fog was quite limited. I could float and fly as I pleased. Perhaps I shall meditate on it to see if any more thoughts develop. Anyways, as I further moved out from the location I call home, I've noticed a major increase in the amount of ore within the ground. This especially applies to the caves of the devastated lands. While fighting the skeleton in my farm, I killed my corn with my sword. I found after the fight, the corn was undamaged. It seems to have grown a protective binding on its cells that allow it to ward off accidental blows from weapons. Furthermore, I no longer have to till soil as often, until soil remains fresher than a fully grown crop. Perhaps I'm getting better at working the land. Along with previously learning how to wield a pickaxe or axe in one hand and a torch in the other, I have further refined my eye-hand coordination, so now I may do so while using a hoe and planting seeds. Farming in the dark is not something I thought I would ever do, but here we are. Eternal crops have evolved to release seeds while harvested early. I have found it better to be crouching when I set down my harvested crops. It makes managing spaces easier. I have found a different way to put together a home. More efficient, not so sure, but I do prefer it. I've also reorganized the materials I used to make ores. Perhaps a hole made of thorium will last longer. Strangely, I've felt that more information is available to me when I gaze upon certain objects. One example is that I may now request that memory categories in the heart of orbits be sorted alphabetically. Additionally, I can sort more objects more efficiently. There are various shaders to such things, but they are too many to list here. Remember that Rex with the blueberries? It now has vocalizations that I had not noticed before. The grunts and growls, I suppose that either I was there to, or perhaps it is improving its vocalization repertoire. Bones sound different. Well, perhaps, I'm not sure. I listened to this. I found myself humming a new tune while in the caves of the Howling Sands. I think it is quite fitting to my environment. Last note. I believe in my primitive state of eating, I have noticed the scent of food particles has shifted. This is a strange one. In conclusion, there is further evidence that the world around me is constantly changing. This opens up exciting new theories and possibilities. I can't wait to see what I discover next. Dr. Lezen, Twilight Dynamics, transponder code 01132026. Location, Wallace. Requesting immediate recycling or dimensional retrieval.